you're not gonna make it this year unless you apply what I'm about to share with you. See, I've been helping people to get in shape over 5 years now. And the mistake I've been seeing people repeating over and over again is that they don't build systems around the goal that they have. Let me explain. So I see in this stage of the year many people like dreaming about the goals that they have, about this is gonna be the year, this is gonna be different. But let me tell you something. Nothing is gonna change unless you build a system where you cannot fail, because that's the only way of winning and achieving what you want. So many people are looking for the perfect diet, the perfect routine, the perfect thing that is the perfect pill, supplement. Try something different that is gonna actually help them to achieve the goal. But they don't build a system where it's impossible to fail and to don't achieve it. So what is a system exactly? You may be asking yourself. Well, a system is simply something where you have an input. You have an input. From this input, you have a process right here. And then you have an output. Right? And then what you have is feedback. This is what a system is, simply explained. Now, this input right here, depending what we are talking about right now about the fitness goal. Here you have the training, the diet, the sleep, right? And of course, every one of this here in the training, you have your muscle stimulation. You have here also your progress overload. In your diet, you have your protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Then in your sleep, you have your recovery, how many hours did you sleep and all that. And then in your output, you get, for example, either your dream physique. Let's say your dream physique is 80 kg and being 12% body fat and high energy all day. So this is basically a little system. So right here you have the inputs, and the inputs in the process, what happens is all this is integrated. So right here, this is basically your body, the internal processes that happen in your body. Then you have the output, and then you have feedback. So meaning if in 1 month you are trying to get in shape and you are getting some progress, you have to measure. That's the thing. So feedback is the way you measure your progress, so you know if you are going in the right direction or not. So the thing is, many people do not understand this, and they don't understand the systems. So what happens is they only pay attention, for example, to the training, or maybe they pay attention to the training and the diet, but they don't understand like how the muscle stimulation works. They don't understand the progression. They don't understand the protein, carbohydrates, and fats. They don't understand how to sleep good, because sleeping 8 hours is not just an indicator of good recovery. There are like factors where you notice if you are actually progressing or not. So this is a system, explained simply. Now, to understand a system, you don't have to become a fitness expert to actually understand this. You have to understand the principles on how it works, at least at the level of where you have an understanding on how to make changes and twitches that actually allows you to progress, to make progress. So, for example, when we talk about system, what we really talk about is like daily systems, weekly habits, the things that you are doing. We are talking about the inputs. So to understand the inputs and what to do, you have to understand, for example, in fitness principles. So this is principles. So this here, the fitness principles, here you have the things that you have to do in order to get in shape and get your dream body. So for this, you have to, like, there are very different fitness principles, but the main one is your training. Wait a second, I'm gonna use this red one. So you have your training, you have your nutrition, and you have your sleep. Each one of these has a key role in your progress, if you are getting to the shape that you want or not. So you don't have to understand all the training like from A to C, but you want to understand, first of all, just a little bit about exercises. So here I'm talking about biomechanics. What's the biomechanic of the main exercises and how to progress in those exercises? What exercises can you use to simulate like certain muscle groups? All this is like important. And how do you learn that? Like, because here's the thing, right? To actually build a system, you need to have a briefly understanding of the principles. So to have a briefly understanding of the principles, you need to study. And that's why it's key to have coaches. But coaches not only that tell you what to do, but actually to teach you how to do it. You see, the philosophy that I have with all the people that I help is that they are not gonna have me, neither other personal trainer or health coach, for the rest of their lives until they are 80 years old. So for them to keep all the things that they have to maintain, they have to find how to do things that actually they can do all their lives. Because if they cannot maintain it, then it breaks the principle of consistency. So in training, you have the exercises. For this, you have to learn what are the main exercises that you have to do. So for this is learning, depending what do you like to train, right? Because if you like to train in calisthenics, it's different than the gym. But what I like, when you understand the principle, you understand that there are not like exercises. There are movements that involve certain muscle groups. So when you understand, for example, pull-ups, you understand how to also do a pull-down in the machine. So understanding the principles on what movements simulate certain muscle groups is the best principle you can understand to understand exercises. And here you also have progression. How to progress in these exercises. Because the way you get bigger and stronger is actually every time that you go to do the same exercise, do it better and you get stronger. So to do that, you have to challenge yourself. It's impossible to gain muscle mass if you don't challenge your muscles. So you have to actually every time do more reps. That again, there are different methods of progression. The main ones is add more weight to the exercise you are doing. So if you do, for example, 1 week, if you do 200 pounds for 10 reps, then the next time you go, you will try to do 210 pounds by also 10 reps or by 8 reps. So you lift a little bit more. And so the next time you go, you try to do 215 pounds and for 6 reps or for 7 reps. And so when you do that, you again go back and you start doing, for example, 2020 for 10 reps, and then you start adding more weight. So you start, your nervous system and your muscle adapt to that stimuli, and when you get stronger, so you add some weight again and you start basically adding some weight and you drop the reps, and or you can play the other way around where you do more reps but you lower the weight basically. Hope that was like clear. Basically is understanding how to progress. Then in the nutrition you have your macronutrients, you have your calories, and then you have your micronutrients. So again, here you don't have to become an expert at this, but you have to understand that in order to lose body weight, you need to understand that you need to make sure that you are in a calorie deficit. You probably heard that 100,000 times. But how do you do a calorie deficit properly? Because it's not just eating pizza only eat pizza and do a calorie deficit. You're gonna lose weight, but that doesn't mean you are actually losing body fat, right? Because you also want to gain muscle. You want to have the proper body composition, and that takes, I'm talking about here in the average, it takes that you consume around 25% of your total calories in protein. You can see there, yes. In protein, that you consume around 35% of your calories in fats, and that you consume 40% of your calories in carbohydrates. Okay? So when you have this, you understand that first of all, how many meat, how many, depend on the protein sources that you're gonna eat the protein, you define how much do you need per day. So if you eat eggs, for example, you eat 4 eggs every morning. So every morning you eat 4 eggs, you're gonna get around 28 grams of protein in those 4 eggs. And also you're gonna get some fat, so you get the calories. And you don't have to count calories every day. That's the thing that many people fall, because it's difficult to maintain. I don't count calories and I achieve a very good change. I'm in the best shape of my life right now. And I don't count calories because this is more about consistency than it is about being like precise. It's more about keep it up, like keep going. Don't fail. So this is approximately the amount of this depends on if you want to like lose weight, if you are more focused to gain some muscle mass. I can talk about this deeply. Let me know in the comments. You can also send me a text to Instagram. But this is gonna allow you to lose body fat. I'm gonna put a picture here about some testimonial if I have, where this same process is the one that we use to actually make them lose body fat. So, and then the sleep is actually your recovery. So you want to make sure that you're eating, I don't have space here. So you want to make sure that you are circadian. You are respecting your circadian rhythm. So your circadian rhythm is basically your recovery process, your recovery loop. So every day you have to go to sleep at the same time. You are gonna wake up naturally at the same time. You gotta sleep in a cold room, not so warm, not so cold, just the right temperature. And you see, when you don't feel like you at the middle of the when you are sleeping, you have to cover yourself up, or when you're gonna wake up because it's too warm because of the heat. So you want to make sure you are sleeping at the right temperature. So these are like the principles when we talk about system of the fitness principles. Now, these topics is topics that I recommend you to actually understand, right? Because the thing that many, like if you're trying to, for example, build a business, you cannot build a business or build a marketing system if you don't understand the principle of marketing, the principles on why people act, why people do things, why people take decisions, why people buy, why people listen to you, why, like all those things are the principles of marketing. And to having a minimal understanding on how it works is gonna allows you to actually maintain that for the rest of your life. That's why education is key. That's why that's the value of coaching. When you have someone that is working one-on-one with you and is teaching you how to do something and how to maintain it, you're gonna learn how to do it on your own and how to do it properly. So right now, when you understand the principles, what you have to do is to build your daily habits. So for this, you're gonna have systems for every action, every task that you have to do. So every day you're gonna have, let's say you have your morning system, okay? So every day I'm gonna talk about my own system. So every day I wake up. Then when I wake up, I go to the kitchen and I drink 1 glass of water. I think you can see, yeah. 1 glass of water. Then what I do is that I put my clothes on. Then I go to the gym. Then when I arrive, I open the laptop. And then I start working. Then 10 a.m. cook 5 eggs. So this is my morning system since I wake up to the moment I take my breakfast. And I already train, I already hydrate myself, I already did my workout here. And usually what I do is like, then I have another system for, I also take sun, I make sure that I walk. So these usually are more like afternoon activities for me. But here's the thing, you have to figure out what works for you and what works for the stage you are in your life. So for example, there are morning routines where I see people like doing 5 hours morning routines where they do 100 different things before they get like the work or the most important thing they have to do. And so, but with this, I understand like what are the things that actually I have to keep. Because if I don't have 5 eggs, what I'm gonna do? Well, Then, first of all, I need a system to make sure I have eggs every morning. So I have to go to the supermarket on Sunday. But then if I don't have eggs, I have to figure out what else can I eat that is not that different from these 5 eggs. So I can get Greek yogurt with some nuts, or I can get like some, for example, a banana with peanut butter. I can get some, another thing, depends what do we have, but usually those are my 3 options. And so it's like really easy because I can keep it and I understand how it works and I understand how much protein each things contain, and I can make sure that I have my protein. So in 5 eggs you get approximately 32 grams of protein. So I have to eat something that has 32 grams of protein, and that's basically it. So I mean, it's not something easy to do because it's something that you have to work on, but like many people in this stage are gonna be looking for the new routine that they are gonna start implementing. But as soon as the things start getting like complicated, for example, as soon as they start having more work, or as soon as they have to travel to do some little trip, they have to move, something happen, and they don't have the money to buy the foods that they had to buy before, they was buying before. Or maybe the other way, like maybe they are working too much and they are making a lot of money, but they don't know what to buy with that money, and they end up buying delivery because they don't know what to eat. So that's why it's something that you have to solve in one moment of your life. You have to really have a understanding on how to keep your health system. What are the basics that you have to keep? I know this is something that maybe it wasn't what you wanted to hear at the beginning of the video or in the title, but I just wanted to be 100% transparent and to tell you that if you actually want to achieve the goal of being in the best shape of your life in 2026, you have to take different actions. You cannot expect be the same person with the same level of education, with the same level of discipline, and to get in the same best shape of your life, because you need to be a different version, a best version that can actually achieve that version. I hope you like the video. Subscribe to the channel so you can see more value, and you also help me to grow. I'm trying really hard and I'm following my dream, which is to help hundreds and thousands of people around the globe globally. And I started 3 months ago doing this, so it's really exciting. I hope you support me, and in case you wonder how can you work with me, I would like to hear about you, and if we can be a potential fit for me to help you. So just send me a text and Instagram and I'm gonna reply to you. And yeah, see you in the next video.